Hello students, welcome back. Good morning. Today we are discuss. I will discuss about our new unit, soci- sociological impacts. Okay. So with reference to information technology. So in our day to day life, we are using so much kind of technology and to send and receive various kind of data, so it will affect our life and social life also. Okay, so we completely mostly depend on digital gadgets. So you can see what is the social impact in our life, in our social. So you can see first, the main topic of this unit is, according to our syllabus, new revised syllabus. You can see digital footprint, net and communication etiquettes, data protection, intellectual property, rights, IPR, plagiarism, licensing and copyright, free and open source softwares, we can say FOSS, force, cybercrime and cyber law, hacking, phishing, cyberbullying, overview of Indian IT Act 2000, e-waste, hazards and management, and awareness about health concern related to the uses of technology. So these topics I will discuss one by one. So first is digital footprint. Okay, because we mostly use internet, and we already posted our comment, mention your emails, mention your id, mention your address in various websites and social media websites, and so any activity we also visit so many websites. Okay, so any activity which are we already done on the internet, but it this activity never delete on the internet, is always exist. Okay, so it is evidence. So we are using internet. Okay, so this is called digital footprint. So a digital footprint is data that is left behind when user have been online. Okay, there are two types of digital footprints, which are active and passive. So the active digital footprints is where the user has deliberately shared information about themselves, either by using social media sites or by using website. In this active digital footprint, user know very well. User share personal information with perfect knowing. Okay, so this is called active digital footprint. Example of active digital footprints: posting on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter and other social media platform. So in this platform, user know very well, he or she share his and her personal information to the others, filling out online forms when signing up to receive email or text. Okay, when you use email, you always input your username and password, agreeing to install cookies on your device when prompted by the browser. Okay, when you install app or use anything, so username id always store on your cookies. Okay, so this is a active digital footprint. But in passive digital footprint, you don't know about your identity which are shared to the others. Okay, this is unknowingly we will share our information to others. So passive digital footprint is made when information is collected from the user without the person knowing this is happening. Okay, so example of passive digital footprint is website that install cookies in your device without disclosing it to us. Apps and websites that use geolocation to pinpoint our location. Social media, news channel and advertisers that use our link, share and comment to profile us and to serve up advertisement based on our interest. Okay, so how digital footprint is being used for marketing purpose? So actively or passively, our every activity always record on the internet. Okay, knowingly or unknowingly. But the third party websites or apps always watch your activities, watch your personal interest. Okay, so then according to our interest, according to our online activities, so third party will send according to the advertisement to our websites or our mails. So digital footprint are known as cyber shadow. Okay, this is another name, cyber shadow, electronic footprint or digital shadow are generally collected with the help of tracking cookies. Okay, so these cookies are created when using popular websites. Whatever we search is stored in there along with our dates, GPS relevant data. These are shared by actual site we are visiting to the popular sites. Okay, so when you have purchasing online shopping, okay, Amazon and Flipkart, so you always purchase something, so this kind of activity always recorded by Amazon also, but also another third party websites, but actually we don't know about this third party, so it will always spying or watch your interest. So popular sites analyze this data and revert back in the form of advertisement later on. For example, the search for a flight from location X to Y location for a particular date. Popular site next day, if we open search engine, ads automatically pop up even we have booked our tickets. Okay, so you can see in the picture how digital footprint work, how online third party watch your activities and according to your interest, showing interest when you surfing the internet, it will send according to this type of interest advertisement to your mail and visiting websites. So you can see web visitor, then actual website visitor leaves, but here popular sites visitor is brought back again. Okay, so Amazon and Flipkart also keep tracking your activity and interest, and also third party unknowingly also tracking your personal interest. Okay, so why we should care about managing our digital footprint? For following 4 reasons. So digital footprint, it is evidence you are using internet facility. So protect our reputation, to make safe personal information, to prevent financial loss and to preserve our freedom. So to maintain this kind of thing for our personal losses, so we keep in mind risks due to the digital footprint, privacy concern, scam, maybe occur scam, identity theft, fake websites. Okay, how to manage digital footprints? Okay, so this type of question will ask in the exam. Enter name into several search engine. Okay, double check privacy setting but don't trust them. Create strong and memorable passwords. Keep your software up to date. Review our mobile use. Delete useless files, temporary files. Build reputation through your behavior. Okay, so this is the problem and solutions. Now, net and communication etiquettes. Okay, so you can see net etiquettes. We know very well the basic term is etiquettes, means to behave nicely to others. Okay, so but when you are using internet, you also require a etiquettes, but here we can say net etiquettes. Net etiquettes, it's short for internet etiquettes or communication etiquettes over internet. It is just like etiquettes. Okay, a code of polite behavior in society. Net etiquette is a code of good behavior on the internet. It includes several aspects of the internet: social media, email, online chat, web forums, website comments, multiplayer gaming, and other types of online communication. So this kind of activity in or passing message to the several applications and online activities must be respectful and must be politeful to the others. Okay, so because you want politeness from others, so you also give politeness to others. Okay, so this thing you can perform on the for net etiquette, and this thing you can avoid. Okay, so which thing you can do: keep message and post briefly in a summarized form, in a concise form. Only keywords you can say. Use discretion, means think properly before posting your message. Protect personal information. Obey copyright law. Help others. Respect other people's privacy. Verify fact before reposting. Check message and respond promptly. Thank others who help you online. Show good sportsmanship when you playing online games. Okay, but this thing you don't perform. Okay, to maintain proper net etiquette, don't posting inflammatory and offensive comment short. Don't respond to internet trollers. Don't post private or embarrassing message. Don't post image and comments. Don't name call or express offensive opinions. Don't exclude people or talk behind their backs. Don't stick to the topic. Don't spam other by sending large amount of unsolicited, or we can say unwanted or fake email to others. Okay, so you can, this is an important topic, net etiquette. So it requires following things, or you can avoid such kind of thing. Okay, now data protection. Okay, if your computer hardware is fail and anything is fail, you will purchase again, but if your data will lose, so this is actual loss when you lose your data. Okay, so data protection also require in online activity or in offline activity, because if we have our personal data, so we can take our decision timely and our work will not suffer. Data protection. Data protection refer to the practice, safeguards and binding rules put in place to protect our personal information and ensure that is remain in control. In short, we should be able to decide whether or not we want to share some information which has access to it, for how long, how what reason, and be able to modify some of this information and more. Okay, so here data protection and data protection activity is important in different areas. Okay, so you can see it is a practice and safeguard and binding rules. Okay, so when you careless about your data, so you can see this thing will create problem consequence of unprotected data and data breaches. First thing you can face when you don't protect your data: suffer from security break and attack, physically data loss, hit with a virus, targeted by hackers, suffer from DDoS, means distributed denial of services, losses of money, lose of money, intellectual property at risk. Okay, means our thought, your idea, your invention, damage, downtime. Okay, so this thing you can face if you don't protect your data. But following thing you can use to protect your data: through encrypt our data, so another person will not understand. Keep password private. Don't overshare on social networking sites. Use security software. Avoid phishing mails. Be wise about Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi means wireless fidelity. Be alert to impersonators. Safely dispose of personal information. So this thing you can use to protect your data online. Main thing is online. Okay, now intellectual property means if you have any kind of idea, any kind of solution, okay, this is a unique thing. Okay, this is your own thing, so another person will not thief your idea or your knowledge, your invention. So it requires also protection of your idea and your activities and your work. So IP means intellectual property. So intellectual property is a property created by a person or group of person using their own intellect for ultimate use in commerce and which is already not available in the public domain. Okay, example of IP property which are an invention relating to a product or any process, new design, new literary or artistic work, and a trademark, a word, a symbol or a logo. Okay, so you can see in this picture, your human mind will create so much thing. Okay, so it require patent, copyright and trademark. Okay, so another person will not harm our idea, project and invention. And IPR, intellectual property rights. Now some rules and regulation will work. Okay, so intellectual property right is the legal right granted by the government to the owners of the intellectual property or applicants of an intellectual property to exclude other from exploiting the IP commercially for a given period of time in lieu of disclosure of his IP and IPR application. So here's government already decided rules and regulation. Any person who invent anything, a writer writes poem, story, a musician will create a music album. Okay, and a scientist will invent a new idea or new invention. Okay, so another person have another intellectual capability, but another person and malicious person will create same thing and will sell to the market to earn money. So so such thing it is not favorable or not a good thing. So to avoid such kind of thing, we can use intellectual property law, rules and regulation. Okay, and we are on our safe place. We can, if you are writer, you can use copyright thing. if you are businessman or you have already manufacture a product, so you require a trademark or a patent also require, means this is your own thing, nobody have right to access it, so it require patent. So this kind of thing require to protect our intellectual property. Why should an IP be protected? So IP means intellectual property, means your idea and your creation is valuable. Nobody will store is will store still and will do any kind of misuse. So it required also protection. So IP is an asset can be exploited by owner for commercial gains any manner. IP owner may intend to stop other from manufacturing and selling product and services such as duly protected by him. IP owner can sell or license the IP for commercial gains. IP can be used to establish the goodwill and brand value in the market. IP can be mentioned in resume of it created and thus show competence of its creator. And last thing, IPR certificate established legal. Okay, you must get a IPR certificate. So you are a legal person, you are an authorized person and valid ownership about an intellectual property. Okay, so in the different area, different products and different thing require different kind of intellectual property rights. So you can see patent to protect technologies. Okay, the Patent Act. Trademark to protect words, sign, logos and label. Okay, suppose Mercedes car, you know very well, the Mercedes car logo a standard logo, so another Chinese company will not copy the Mercedes logo. Okay, this symbol is already created by Mercedes company. So this logo is personal property of Mercedes. So trademark required, trademark air design to protect outer ornamental configuration. Design Act, geographical indications to protect region specific product, geographical indication of good acts. Copyright to protect literacy and artistic work, the Copyright Act. When a writer write a book, and so this kind of activity also require protection. So in different area have different type of rules and regulation, different type of protection rights. So you can see IPR are protected in accordance with provision of legislation of a country specific. In India, IPR can be protected and monopolized as per Act. Some of them are the Patent Act 1970, the Design Act 2000, the Trademark Act 1999, the Geographical Indication of Good Acts 1999, the Copyright Act 1957, Protection of Integrated Circuit Layout and Design Act 2000, Protection of Plants, Varieties and Farmer Right Act 2001, and also Trade Secrets. Okay, so in India, this type of protection already started. Okay, so you can see. So you know the importance of our intellectual property. This is your creation. So nobody can copy and nobody can disturb or nobody can commercialize this thing. So it also require a proper certification and legal ownership. Okay, so first you create your own thing, test thing, and you will get a particular patent certificate. So nobody will copy. If anybody will copy, so under the crime, under the law of court and Indian law will give punishment. Okay. Okay students, thank you so much.